What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the round 16 GameDay Squad Football Show brought to you by the GameDay Society. I'm Mark, as always, and I'm joined by Zonald here.
Hello,
How you
everyone.
been, Zonald?
I'm good. I'm pumped for this week because
Yeah,
didn't do fantastic last week. My start was real bad, and then I finished pretty well with a lot of people with the United players. But
yeah.
I'm pumped for this week coming up.
Yeah, so am I. This week, I feel like there's a few kind of almost pod players where I'm kind of confident in picking them, which means that I'll either go terribly again, or I'll actually maybe kind of claw some points back on people if I manage to snag them. But yeah, it's getting pretty like we're almost halfway through the season, which is
Yeah.
absolutely crazy to think, considering not that long ago it feels like we were, doing all the preseason stuff, learning what the scoring system was going to be, who was going to be a good player, all that kind of stuff. And now it's just, just normal. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's like second nature.
Yeah.
Albeit from now on, we're just going to continue with the carnage of laid outs, managers not saying when someone's injured, missing suspensions, all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot happening, especially over the Christmas New Year period where we've got a bunch of fixtures. We've got Champions League through the week. We've got AFCON. We've got everything, and Salah as well.
Yeah,
But we'll talk about that a bit later.
The transfer window is going to throw a fair bit up as well.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how quickly they get the new players into this. That's going to be exciting, actually, in terms of picking up a maybe a new Chelsea forward or something like that. Could be nice.
For sure.
But what we'll do before we jump too far into the slide, the show, run through the fixtures, we're getting very deep into the cup. We're down to the semi-finals now, so only 4 people left. And as I'm sure you all know by now, we've been running the GameDay Society Cup Bounty with the prize wheel. There's 3 names left on the board now. 3 out of 4, though, so that's pretty good, I'd say, for GameDay Society representation. So before I forget, I'm just going to quickly spin the wheel now, if that's okay with you, Zonal, just to get it done. So
I think Denny had another close run game against Man got a little unlucky to get knocked out.
Yeah, I think I was following that. Came down to the United game, it looked like. So yeah, a lot of things. So we have Slot Machine, we have Super Pies, and we have Kangaroony left in the cup, as well as one other. So we will shuffle it up a couple of times. Obviously, we've got one winner on this, and then we've got that epic prize wheel with a bunch of diamonds, great cards left. But looks like it's going to be Kangaroony with the win. Go back to back. So
I'm pretty sure that is on the Discord.
What was that, sorry?
Pretty sure that's the big boys on the Discord.
Oh, yeah.
These 3 are like worthy winners. I forget who the 4th is that's in there, but
yeah, I mean, everyone that's left is pretty high up on the leaderboard, so it's pretty deserving, really. So cup prizes still have that Elite 10 pack. I mean, that's always going to stay there, but there's a bunch of diamonds still. There's a lot of good stuff, which
absolutely.
I'm starting to think I don't want to part with it, but it's on the board. I'm not going to take it off. So I'll go a few randomizations and see what they win. Okay, the Elite pack is on the other side of the board, which is great. But
that's a big one.
That is a great. That's probably the thing apart from the Elite pack that I didn't want to go. So
yeah, it's brutal for you, but
that's what it's on the board for. Big congratulations there for the Diamond Bruno. We'll sort you out in the Discord after the episode.
BT-dubs, guys, in case you didn't know, Mark does donate pretty much everything on the wheel. So keep that in mind. He does a good effort to actually put all this up.
Yeah, I've been told not to do it sometimes, but It's great. I love the thrill of it as well. While I've got the wheel up, I might quickly I've missed a couple of the Advent calendar giveaways as well. So, as you've hopefully seen on the Discord as well, we're doing a giveaway every day up until Christmas. The next 2 prizes, I believe, what were they? So the first prize, which was actually yesterday's prize, which I didn't spin the wheel for, is a diamond Moses Enriquez for Big Bash.
Yep.
And then I've got a diamond Mitchell in Premier League. So 2 diamonds, so I'm giving away 3 diamonds. What am I doing with my life? But
dedication.
So we'll give it a spin. So this is for the Big Bash card, so Enriquez. We have, who is it? Oh, Big Horse.
Nice one. Adam on the Discord.
Congratulations. So every time you win in this one, I decrease your wedge size by 1 just to kind of hopefully bring everyone into the game. And then the next one was for that Diamond Richards. Just seeing in the comments. Hosmus.
That's what you should have called the wheel.
Yeah, missed opportunity there. Tim. Congratulations, Tim, on the Diamond Richards. And we'll leave it at that for now for giveaways. We do have some packs to rip at the end as well, so that's not everything. But let's actually talk some Premier League, which I'm sure a lot of people are here for.
One of the tougher weeks to actually pick a team, I think.
Yeah. So like I said, there's a few sneaky picks which I kind of like.
So I'm high on a few players as well. I think Mian and I were chatting about a couple last night.
Yeah, nice. So game 1 at 1 a.m. on Sunday. So no early game, that must be right?
Yeah, but we do get access to 2 games, this game and the Liverpool game.
Yeah, beautiful.
Both good lineups to get.
Yeah, so Chelsea-Everton. A few interesting picks here that you could go. Palmer's probably the big one that we're looking for in lineups.
Bit less of a risk too with the lineup release.
Exactly right. So,
although, keep your eyes on 5 minutes beforehand in case he pulls out in the warm-up again.
Exactly right. People have been burnt before.
Yeah.
So in this one, Palmer probably on most people's radars at this point. Who else should we be looking at, do you reckon?
So I would have said Reece James, but I think it's highly likely he gets rotated again. Only thing in his favour is Caicedo's out for 1 more week, which could mean he sort of has to play in that centre defensive mid role. Chalobah did play for half a game right back today, though.
Okay.
Interesting. Or today or yesterday, whichever game they played. I think it was yesterday.
Anyone on the Everton side? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much the Chelsea defenders that are going to play, because I feel like Chelsea get clean sheet in this one. They've done 3 of the last 5 games.
Yep.
Everton have 1, and that time was a 0-0 draw. I think it's 0-0 draw. Everton side, Grealish, like he comes out right in my stats, so I think he'll accumulate against Chelsea. Better if you probably
even with no goal or assist, hey?
Yeah, I think he could just get one of those like 10 to 15 pointers. It's like sort of safe level here, him and some of the other accumulators. And then if they sneak a goal, then it might come from him or him setting it up.
Yeah.
Pickford as well. Pickford's another one for Everton.
Pickford.
50-50 type game.
Yeah, so when you're thinking Chelsea get up with a clean sheet, you're still thinking it's like a 1-0 kind of thing, or a...
I'm going to say, so I sort of predicted all the results because it helps with something else in Norm. So I had this as a 2-0. I think 1-2-0, something around that.
Yep. Yeah, nice. Now, with the forwards for Chelsea, obviously there's a couple, the Pedro Neto, João Pedro, relatively safe picks, I think, in the past with the players that they have available at the moment, Chelsea.
Yep.
is this the kind of fixture where they'll be reliant on a goal to actually do well, or would you be confident picking them?
I think they're all right. I think all of them came, like Neto and Pedro for sure, came up well on the general stats of without a goal or assist for me. So I think they'll do all right. The problem for me is based on what they put out in the Champions League, I don't know how much rotation there's going to be. I'm starting to think Esteval plays and like Neto gets rested.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That would be interesting if Esteval plays, because that definitely brings him onto the radar as someone who we should be picking, I think. Because when he plays, he looks really good, hey?
Yeah, he looks like their best, albeit he's usually on like in the last like 30, so he's up against some tired legs. But from the start, he's up against like Mikalenkovic. No, sorry, just Mikalenko. And on the other side, it's usually O'Brien. I think Coleman's still out injured. So I like both of those matchups for him. I think he'll outpace O'Brien pretty easy. Maybe battle for strength, he'll get done in. But Mikalenko, he's just been a bit down this year compared to previous years.
Yeah, he's someone who we haven't really talked about at all, but I think was pretty high on the radar from pre-season.
Had an injury to start the year.
Yeah. What about like Tarkowski? Like, obviously, we're talking about Chelsea probably scoring goals, but he's put together some pretty consistent scores the last several weeks. Really, he's gone double digits for the last 5, which is good for a defender. And there's been a few goals conceded in that time.
Yeah, I think they had 4 goals in one of them. Same with Keane. Keane's been pretty good. I'm annoyed I didn't back them because I backed Tarkowski last week and I was considering doubling up on Keane and maybe Pickford as well, but ended up not going with him.
Yeah. No, nice. I think that's probably it for me. Dewsbury Hall's the other one who's an informed player at the moment, but I don't know if I love this game for them.
Yeah, he's been playing defensive mid as well because they've liked Alcaraz at attack and midfield, which I'm not sure if it's better or worse for him because I think he still has the same sort of goal sense and impact in that area. So I don't think it affects him too much. Sort of like Enzo. Doesn't really matter if he's playing advanced or defensively.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think that probably covers this one though. Let's jump into the second fixture that we get the lineups for.
Yep.
Your boys Liverpool versus Brighton. Now, what do you make of the, I guess, disruption in Liverpool? Obviously, it's been very public. The comments from Salah, the sides that people are having to take within the change room. How big a deal do you think that is for, I guess, going into this week?
We played pretty well against Inter, but we've done that before. We've done well in the Champions League, like back to Real Madrid. We played well against them, and then we backed it up terribly on the weekend. I'm actually pretty confident against Brighton. Like, it tends to be a bit of a 50-50 score more than you type of game. So I don't think there'll be cleans. Like, there hasn't been a clean for either team in the last 5. So I think there'll be goals, and it'll just be a matter of, is it a 2-1, is it a 3-2, or like a 3-3, 4-all. I'm probably backing like a 2-1 to one of the teams.
Probably Brighton tend to score. Like, even when they lose, they'll be pretty confident they'll get a goal.
For sure.
One thing that I did like was Szoboszlai on pens.
Yeah.
That was...
Isaac will probably be on him, though, if he's on the pitch. Is the only thing, because he got subbed before that happened, which makes sense. But it's good, like I was saying this in chat, it's good to know he's the backup to that, because I thought it might have been McAllister.
Yeah. Or was it Ekitike on the...
He was on the pitch, yeah. So that's another one. I thought it might be him, but Szoboszlai took it. So makes sense. Szoboszlai's sort of good at that set pieces, so why not?
Yeah. And I heard the other day his like international record, or his penalty record is 19 out of 20, which is...
Yeah, he's pretty good at like dead balls. So I'm not surprised there. It's just extra like thing to pick him. Like, you're probably going to pick him anyway in most situations because he accumulates and like his game style leads to points. It's just like a cherry on top situation where if all things are right, Salah's not on the field, Isaac's not on the field, he's probably going to take one.
And we've seen Gakpo's on the injury list now, so we'll be missing. Salah,
Probably not
obviously, not playing. I don't. Has he left camp yet?
I think they said to him, this is all rumours, of course, but from what I heard, they've told him you may as well just go to Egypt squad early, meet up with them early. How true that is, we'll see. Maybe he's on the bench for this one, and yeah. But Slot's press conference basically said that him and the guys like Richard Hughes and stuff told Salah, you're basically banned for a match day because of what you said. So that's why he completely missed out during the Champions League.
Yeah, not relevant to GameDay Squad, but I think that's fair. Like
I think it's like that's keep it inside, like sort of club. Don't go to media. And he's done it in the past, like with his contract situation, albeit that's tongue in cheek, where he's just like, "Oh, I really want to sign a contract." They basically haven't offered me one, but I want to sign one.
Yeah, it's interesting timing with international break coming up as well that he can smoke bomb out. But yeah, what do you think of Isaac this week?
I think he'll start. I think it'll be Ekitike and Isaac front. We'll play a 4-4-2, modified version of it, and it'll be Wirtz and Sosbly left and right mid, McAllister and Gravenberch centre mids, those two up top, Ekitike and Isaac, and then the back four, it's like Connor Bradley suspended, so it sort of has to be Gomez because Frimpong's still out. Van Dijk, Konate, it sort of has to be there because Gomez is out there, unless like Jones or Sosbly could play there. So we might see one of them there and the other on right mid. And then we'll see probably, I think Robertson played midweek, so probably Kirkes.
Yeah, cool. I think probably Szoboszlai is the only player from Liverpool that I'll be starting with any kind of, confidence at the moment. Brighton, there's a few comments about Welbeck being potentially a decent option this week, which I don't mind.
Yeah, I think if they score, it'll probably be him with some sort of involvement, which is usually a goal rather than assist.
Yeah. Minte started off really well with the assist, but he's not really pulled through lately. I haven't seen his...
He's high up with key passes as well. I think he's a bit subdued last round. I watched that game and he just seemed pretty tired, like he didn't want to get involved. So it seems like he was playing really wide as well.
Yeah. The other player I kind of like in this game, but it's pending how you think Liverpool are going, is Van Heek, who's put a couple of really good performances back-to-back together with a 22.75 and a 19. I don't know how confident I am about Liverpool this week.
Yeah, it could definitely go either way. It's happened in the past with this fixture. So last 5, 3 wins Liverpool, 1 Brighton, 1 draw. Last 5 at Liverpool's home, 2 wins, 2 draws, 1 Brighton win, so fairly close. Ben Hector I don't mind either because I like him in games where he's potential to score, and we've been pretty shaky on defending corners and set pieces lately. So it's a sort of game where he could get a header goal because past 2 weeks he's had an assist last week and he's had 2 goals the week before.
Yep. Yeah, it's like a very like his good scores are maybe misleading because they've come with goal involvements. So
but makes it for clean sheet lack of there.
Yeah. So with getting the lineups for this game, with Szoboszlai obviously being able to play basically anywhere on the pitch, is there anywhere
you could play him at centre back?
Yeah. Like, is there anywhere you see him lined up, you're thinking, I'm not going to start him?
I hate to do that now because I got in my head last week with Eze. I was like, okay, he's either going to play centimetre or cam, and then they named him left wing, and I'm like, maybe I'll just play it out. And then a couple of weeks ago with Sosbly, I was even in the Discord, and I'm like, Sosbly doesn't have a great record at right back with scoring like points. And then he just scored, I think, or assisted and brought out like a 25-pointer. So I think with him, because he's on set pieces, it's like not really a worry.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I think he's kind of almost taking over that Bruno role in the midfield where you just set and forget. All right. Unless you got anyone else you want to talk about, we can jump into the next one.
Not really. It's a shame the two best goal scorers from the last 5 fixtures are out, Gakpo and Salah.
Yeah, true. And then, Van Dijk.
Like Welbeck's decently sized, so he could be pretty competitive. Like mature players like that tend to be all right when it comes to situations in the air. So I think he might subdue Van Dijk a little bit.
Yeah.
You'd have to be pretty confident on the Liverpool clean to back him in, I reckon.
Yeah.
Allison, I don't mind because he might get some saves in a 50-50 type game to make up for a lack of clean sheet.
Yeah, no, that's a good shout. All right, we'll crack on. So we've got Burnley, Fulham next. I'm kind of big on Iwobi this week. This is one of my sneaky little pods, which is maybe not so much a pod because of the fixture, but someone who probably won't be in the set and forget teams. Well, definitely won't be. So what do you think of this? I feel like you're going to correct me or something.
No. I'm fine with Fulham attackers because I think they will score. Just depending on that, because I do think it'd be a close game, though, like a very low scoring one. So the reason I don't like Fulham in general in the fixture is they haven't beaten Burnley in the last 6 games, which is since 2000 they've played 16 times. Fulham have only kept 1 clean sheet in that.
Right.
They've only won 3 of those 16 games. All time, Burnley have only ever lost once at home to Fulham, which was back in 1951. This season, Fulham have won 1, drawn 1, lost 5 away in the league. Burnley have won 2, drawn 1, lost 4 of their home games. We all know history doesn't always repeat itself and stuff like that. And yeah, Burnley's been the targetable team along with Wolves, so go for it. I'm just feeling like, especially with it being away, and we know Fulham loves a good old shocker against like a lower half team, then it could be a decent week to either avoid the Fulham defenders that I think a lot of people are going to go with. It's lucky Arsenal have an easy fixture because I think it'll steer some people away from them. But the one player from this game that stands out for me is Dubravka, because he typically tends to get a fair few saves. And I think it'll be low scoring. I think he's a decent shout because if they manage to keep it clean somehow at home, which they've done, he could be a big scorer.
Yeah, no, that's a really good shout. And I'm just looking at some numbers here. They're Dubravka's well ahead as Burnley's best scorer, regardless. Not that that's much of a competition, but they're the only one who's consistently getting kind of, the 15 to 20 kind of scores, which for a keeper, you take that, and then with those scores, there's going to be a lot of goals conceded in there too. So I like that shout.
The only thing I'll say with Fulham's away form this season is they've lost to some pretty good teams. So they've lost to Newcastle, Bournemouth, Aston Villa, Chelsea, and drawn with Brighton. Then lost to who was their other loss? I think that's it. So all pretty competent teams they've gone and lost to away. So it's maybe a bit of maybe they're not so bad away.
The other, Fulham player that I've just remembered that I was probably going to play is Kenny Tete.
Yeah, he's a good shout. Yeah, he's one I've definitely considered.
Yeah, I think, good form apart from that -3 a couple of weeks ago. Good opponent, good chance of a clean sheet. I think this is like a nice little fixture, especially with, we'll get to it later, but a lot of our standard defender options probably not been that great this week.
Yeah.
We'll jump into the next one, which is Arsenal and Wolves. There's a lot of opportunity here to make points on the Arsenal side, I feel, but I'm just a little bit nervous about a bit of it. You go.
All I was going to say, so the lineup was what stresses me, obviously, because are they going to rotate? Are they not? Seeing their Champions League lineup is a little weird. Didn't rest certain players, played certain players, subbed certain players off late in the game rather than earlier. So a couple of things. Calafiore is suspended, so it pretty much locks in Lewis Skelly to play and start, and he was subbed off like with a good 20 to 30 minutes left. So I feel like he's locked there. Hincapi can play left back, but I feel like they need him at centre back because of the injuries. Hincapi was subbed out in like the 60th minute too. So those two should be locked. Now, Mosquera is apparently still a couple of weeks away. Can't really trust Arteta, though. He also said Saliba's not ready. Again, can't trust Arteta because it could just be Saliba that rocks up out there. It should be Timber at centre-back, which should mean it should be White at right-back. The only thing we might see is he's BSing about Saliba. Saliba plays, then Timber goes out wide. Or Hincapi goes to left-back. But I'm pretty confident it'll be still Skelly, Hincapi, Timber, and then pretty confident it'll be White. Raya in goals. Midfield-wise, I think that's one of the more tricky areas. So up top, we'll go to there first. Trossard is apparently injured right now, and I don't think he'll be ready for the weekend. So it sort of means we get Madueke or Martinelli at left wing. Could be Eze, though. Eze could start there again, and he gives him another shot. Saka at the right wing. He was benched today to begin with, so he should be locked into play. Jokeris was subbed out early for Gabriel Jesus, so he should start at striker. It's just Odegaard I like in this matchup, and I want to play him. He's subbed out in like the 72nd minute, which I'm pretty confident means he's going to play this one. Declan Rice didn't make the squad because he's been ill since the game on the weekend.
Yeah, he's, quote, very keen to be able to play. So
I think it might be Rice. I'm hoping it's Rice, Odegaard, and Zubamendi, and then Eze can go to left wing or whoever they want at left wing.
Yeah. Do you think Eze at left wing against Wolves is a good shout? Like, we know that he prefers to play through the middle. He's better more centrally. He probably, even if he did play out on the left at Crystal Palace because they had the back five, it was a lot easier to get more central anyway. Do you think he's still an okay shout?
Yeah, because of the fixture, albeit you're risking him being benched. So a couple of reasons. Saka is they heavily go through the centre, and if they don't, they go to Saka's side all the time. Saka obviously gets into goal a lot, and he gets the ball across to his attackers, but Jokeris is going to be standing dead in front because he's a poacher type striker. So that sort of takes away what Eze could have done last week where he got that tap in that was offside.
Yeah.
So I don't like it because of that. And then he wasn't getting involved at all out there. And again, that's down to them going down Saka's side and going through the middle. And he did rotate a little bit with whoever played at striker. I think Marino, they swapped around a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like obviously he can go on because of the fixture, but I'm doubtful on it.
Yeah, I think there's probably better targets in this fixture than Eze. Yeah, I mean, Saka's a must this week. He's probably my number one pick for the week.
Me too.
Like if you're looking at loading up your salary, dump it into him. I think this is probably the game where you want to avoid Raya.
Yeah, me too, because it's another one of those where you can bank on a 10-point clean sheet. Worst case, he has a nightmare like Donnarumma's done previously and gets a 0 because he concedes. So I think there's other keeper options which are better. There's a couple of 50-50 games which I like.
Yeah.
Like this Arsenal game's tricky because it could ruin a lot of weeks with some potential rotation because a lot of people are going to heavily stack Arsenal. So anybody who doesn't play Arsenal or doesn't have certain Arsenal cards might end up doing well if that happens. Nightmare scenario is Odegaard gets benched. Saka won't get benched, so I don't think that's happening. But Odegaard gets benched and Rice is too ill to play. and then maybe like something weird like Timber gets benched for Saliba to come back.
Yeah.
Because
like even though Arsenal are down a lot of players, this is possibly a fixture where they could take the opportunity to rest some of those players who have been forced into every game, which that's what scares me.
I agree. Only thing that is in the back of my head is they've just come off a loss in the league. They did rotate in their weaker Champions League game. So maybe Arteta's gone, okay, no matter who it is on the weekend, we're putting our full strength team out there to get the win and get back into things.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
And I'm going to assume you're staying well clear of any Wolves players.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to concede way too many. I think it'll be like 4-0.
Yeah, I do too. I think Saka will get a couple of assists, maybe not a goal, but could be a good Gyökeres shout this week, actually.
What I will say as well is, I don't know if anybody watched the Arsenal game last week, but their fullbacks invert and were in left and right wing positions for parts of the game, or left attack and midfield, right attack and midfield spots. Like White was literally standing just outside the goal box when Arsenal were bringing the ball up. So again, tricky to tell who's going to play out there. I'd say it's going to be White and Lewis Skelly. Don't make them the same mistake I did early in the week, thinking Lewis Skelly was a defender and go buy him and then try to put him in, and then he wasn't listed in the defenders, and I couldn't work out if I'd not bought him or.
That's happened with me with what was his name? Rico Lewis. He's a mid, isn't he? Is it Rico? No, not Rico Lewis.
O'Reilly.
O'Reilly. That's what I'm thinking of.
And Mateus Nunes.
Yeah. Just looking forward to next season when we kind of rejig a few things.
Yeah.
All right. It's probably enough on that one. Load up on Arsenal players if you're confident they're starting, because they'll do well, but who knows? All right. Crystal Palace City. This is a game that's probably, rather than being a good game for who to pick, it's kind of making it a challenging week because it's taking away a few of our regular options in our Crystal Palace defenders, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because, City, very strong attacking. I think they're the worst team to line up against as a defender, which checks out. Is there any scenario where you would consider playing a Crystal Palace defender this week?
I think they'll concede. Munoz would be the one I consider because I think he can get forward and get some sort of attack involvement. But he's out, which means their backline becomes weaker too with Klein with Klein playing out there. Klein's all right, but he's not Munoz. So I probably would steer clear of them, where he could do another one of his games and score a goal. The thing with the City are they're clearly a weaker team away from home this season, really clearly. And at home they average 3.5 goals a game, something ridiculous like that. Whereas away they've won 3, drawn 1, lost 3 this season. So I think they're gettable, but I feel like it'll be these games between these two have been ridiculously close. It's been Palace have won 1, City 2, and 2 draws, same form for their Palace home games. All very close games. I feel like it'll be a 2-2.
Yeah, okay. So does that rule out any kind of City defenders as well this week and Donnarumma?
I think so. Donnarumma is sort of on my don't play list at the moment because he's had a couple of shockers for me. It is a 50-50 type game, so you never know. Henderson and Donnarumma could get enough saves to make up for it, particularly Henderson. I feel like there's better goalkeeper options. On that question with Foden, I think he'll score decent enough without a goal or assist. I don't know if he'll get a goal or assist, but you'll probably just get your average 10 to 13 points from him if he doesn't, so it should be fine. You won't lose out too much.
Yeah. One player I really like is Cherky, who I think probably a lot of people who watch him do like. It's just such a shame that we can't be that confident that he'll actually start because when he starts...
I was just going to... Pep's gotten a sort of false sense of security because I think the last 3 or 4 matches he's named pretty much the same lineup.
Yeah, okay. Well, in that case,
No, you watch though. We'll all get used to it and be like, oh, cool, we can safely play these players too. And then he'll just roll out Marmorsh up, or he can't because AFCON, but when he's back, Marmorsh up top, we've got Bob out wide, and then all that sort of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it will happen. So Haaland, I guess, is the question for this one. Because it's not the best matchup for, well, I mean, it's not a good matchup for forwards, but, you know, Haaland's Haaland. So games where City don't look like they're comfortably going to win 4-0,
yeah,
I worry about playing Haaland, which is probably like a stupid statement.
No. The thing is, a lot of people are having that same worry. I think what ends up happening is people have that worry through the week, and then they just go, I've got to play him because everyone's going to play him, even though everyone wasn't going to play him until they thought about everyone else playing him, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So with Haaland, I don't think he'll score enough base points for a goal to make much difference if you pick other players that do well up front.
Okay.
Where I think he needs 2 goals to make that happen against a team like this, or a goal and an assist, like 2 goal involvements.
Yep.
I'm hesitant that he'll get 2. I think it'll just be the 1. So I'm willing to risk him just getting 1. And in some teams, I'm playing him in a couple, but in some teams, particularly ones where I've just entered, like Challenger, Champion, stuff like that, where I can take more risk because seasonal doesn't matter, I'm willing to run the risk with him and play someone else in his place, and they might just get similar to him, a couple points here or there, forward or back.
Yeah. Is there anyone in the Crystal Palace side that you'd be looking for?
Wharton's done well in the past against them with a couple of assists. He's been all right recently. Mateta's scored a couple of goals in the recent fixtures, so like you could go for some pods there. I feel like this game's a big old avoid though. Apart from like you can go Foden, he's pretty safe to pick, and Doku's an interesting one because he came out real well base points. So that, especially with he'd be matched up against Klein, so he'd be a real good one to play. But I worry now since he played 88 minutes in the Champions League whether he'll start.
Yeah, no, I do worry, but then I worry about him every week, and I've missed out on a lot of good scores because of it. It's just an annoying fixture for me. Let's jump into the next one then. So Sunderland versus Newcastle. This screams points to me. I don't know why. It just like feels like one of those maybe kind of 50-50 kind of games. And it feels like there's a lot of points to be had here. What do you reckon?
You know what this screams to me? This screams low-scoring draw.
Really?
You know, Newcastle early in the season when they played like Bournemouth and drew 0-0, and they played Aston Villa and drew 0-0. That's what it's screaming to me, those 2 matches. So interestingly enough, and this isn't that relevant because it's way back in 2017 and stuff, these 2 are actually big rivals to begin with, Newcastle and Sunderland. So it'd be quite a heated game, I reckon. Sunderland won 3 of the past 5, 1 win to Newcastle. Sunderland at home this season are 4 wins, 3 draws, no losses. Newcastle away are 1 win, 3 draws, 3 losses. Newcastle are shocking away, albeit they've had Livramento and Hall, their best 2 fullbacks, are out for stages. And they're back.
Yeah, okay.
I'm my star player for the defenders this week and in this game is Ballard.
Yeah, okay.
Royce is good too. Royce can be real good, I reckon.
I mean, Royce is good most weeks, and then it's just like his base point accumulation kind of.
He'll get saves, plenty of them, I reckon. If he can keep a clean sheet in this game, he's going to go huge, I think.
Now, with Pope's on the screen there, but he's out this week, Ramsdale will still be keeping his spot for now, at least. Is Ramsdale an option if it's going to be at 50-50, like low scoring 50-50? Yeah.
I think Sunderland will get less shots than Newcastle, albeit it's at home, so maybe I'm wrong there. But yeah, I think it'll be pretty fine to go the keepers here, or one of them, whoever you think's going to get a winner, if either you think's going to get a clean. You're right in the fact there's so many players in this game you could pick. So you could go Ballard, you could go Malia, you could go Royce, Ramsdale. Bruno's been in good form. You could go Xhaka comes out really well on the base points for me. So even without anything, he should do all right. Sadiki comes out well on the base points. There's a lot of Sunderland players. So what that tells me from them coming out well on base points is Newcastle must concede like a lot of stats. But yeah, so many options you could choose in this game, and I reckon you go all right.
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to go one, if not two, Sunderland defenders here, like Ballard and maybe Malia, and Royce as well. But I don't know about Newcastle. That's the thing.
Yeah, their away form just scares the crap out of me. Like, I don't know who they've lost to per se. I haven't actually gone back to that. But if you're like not performing at all, way to the point you've only had one win there, and then the other team hasn't lost at home, I feel like they're on for one here.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I'll just quickly get my list up just in case there's anyone else I missed. No, that's probably
West Ham. They've lost to Newcastle away. They lost to Brighton, which is fine. Brighton are good at home. They've lost to Brentford. Brentford are good at home. Who else did they lose to? They had a 2-1 with Burnley. But that they won. Only won 1-0 to Wolves. So, like I said, they've got players back, but yeah.
Do you think then a Sunderland forward could be an option here?
It's tricky with them because they do rotate a little bit. Like Isidore seems to be pretty locked in and nailed on. Who I do like that's been playing centre attack and left wing lately is Enzo Lefebvre. He's a midfielder in GameDay Squad though, so plays a little out of position. I've got him in my challenge as a diamond this week.
Yeah, wow, that's a big shout. Nice, cool. I think that's it for me though. This game. Jump into the next one, which is Forest and Tottenham. This is the game where I have my number one keeper in Vicario.
Me too.
I don't have him in my team currently that we're about to show you at the end, but I've managed to secure one since I've done the screenshot, so he will be coming in. But he just, like, up against Nottingham Forest, goalkeepers do well. Regardless of the manager, it's always been, they've come out well. He's, like, we know he's looked bad sometimes, but he's scoring well. And that's kind of what matters.
Yeah, we all know I hate it. No, I've got him in my teams this week, and I'm hoping it's not similar to the only other time I've played him where he forgot he had hands.
Yeah, now that you've picked him, he probably will. One player who has been incredible lately, Elliot Anderson. How does that match up against Tottenham for you?
Yeah, he was good in the points too. He's one of those another safe ones you can pick. I'm not sure if he'll score or assist, but he's very high up on base points, like an insane base point score. So in my new points predictor, I have he's predicted after minutes are taken into account, minutes points, to get around 15.8. That's without like a goal or an assist.
Yeah, okay. That's great.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I think he's pretty safe.
Got one comment here about Kudus as well.
I agree too. I think he'll go massively this week.
Yeah, I think he's one that will be coming in, probably high rarity for me too. Tottenham defenders, we can see they map like defense against Nottingham Forest does well.
Yep.
There's some very selectable Tottenham defenders who like
Porro.
Yeah, Porro. Is that your number one there?
Yeah, I think Porro will do really well. I think they'll get the clean. I think they'll win this like 1 or 2-0. So I'm high on Tottenham defenders, goalkeepers this week because the goalkeepers should still get some saves. Vicario tends to. And then hopefully the clean. Romero's been really good goal scoring form. So Romero you could back in. But your Romero, your Porro, you could go Van der Ven if you want. Udogie's out for a couple of weeks, I think. So nails on Spence and sort of Porro to play. So you shouldn't see any rotation, and Porro should play at the 90, I imagine.
Yeah, sweet. I think he's probably the lock for me this week. And then up forward for Tottenham, or I guess not necessarily up forward, but like goal scoring threat, like Kudus, assist machine, breaking behind lines. Javi Simmons.
Yeah, came into it now.
Oh, Simons. Yeah, what was that?
He's come right into it. Like he had that banger game last round, I think. Only risk is rotation. Like I think he played in the UCL. I think he started.
Yeah. Okay.
Same risk you get with Richarlison. I think Richarlison might get rested. Tends to be with Frank. He's done that with him. He plays the Champions League or starts and then gets rotated. So I imagine Kolo Muani, if he's fit, I haven't checked, should play, and maybe Richarlison won't.
Yeah. Okay. We've got it up here. Let's see.
I don't think they're updated on the site this week yet, unfortunately.
Okay.
They're all at the last update, the 5th.
Yeah, right. Well, keep an eye on that then. Anyone other than Anderson and Forrest that catches your eye?
No, like Williams is fine most weeks because he does get those stats from like going on runs forward. Which side does he play? He plays on the left back, right? So he's going to be up against Kudus, which is tricky for him. Yeah,
which probably a lot of fouls, would you say? Like with Kudus coming in behind, or
maybe it might limit Kudus a bit, but I think Kudus is like, if he's not the number one dribbler in the league, I think he's close to the top. So yeah, maybe not the week, particularly if you think they're gonna concede to go with him.
Yeah,
because he has had some negative stinkers early on in the season when they had Postecoglou there.
That's true. Yeah, I think that's it for me. We'll crack on to the next one, which is West Ham and Aston Villa. Interesting game here. It's like a couple of sides who were pretty average to start with, and now are starting to come. Well, I mean, Aston Villa's in great touch, and West Ham are actually looking okay.
Yeah, I agree. Like Nuno's finally got their formation, and the players like playing the way he wants to play, which I've been waiting for. Albeit, I'm still not going anywhere near West Ham defenders. I just don't think they score very well in GameDay Squad, like the players themselves. Or the type of players they are. Wan-Bissaka's not too bad. I think Wan-Bissaka's going to AFCON.
Okay.
I think he is. So neither in the last 5 games between these two, there hasn't been a clean sheet for either team. I think a lot of people are going to go to Aston Villa, and they could keep a clean sheet. I just prefer them at home than I do away. So I feel like both teams will score in this one. Watkins has got a really good record against West Ham.
I like Matty Cash in this game. I like Matty Cash a lot. I don't know if I've got a soft spot for him.
It's the Polish.
Yeah, that's the funniest thing. They play for Poland, can't speak Polish. I think he just looks really like he against last week he just had so much space to just get in and and he was like finding good space. It wasn't necessarily like he was just left alone. He was like getting into good areas, which I really like, especially in defenders, obviously. So he's one that I'll be picking this week. Watkins is probably a bit too far for me with the other options up front, but could still be a good shout. Paqueta could be all right.
Yeah, I always hate with Paqueta because he comes out so well in like the stats every single game pretty much, and then he's just been suspended recently, but he just like underperforms or gets thrown into a different role every week. So yeah, like whenever I picked him, it hasn't gone too well. So it's same with Watkins though. Watkins has been so inconsistent this season, which I think is more down to his rest of his teammates than him.
One other player who I don't mind in this one is Emi Martinez, just from a combination of form and opportunity.
West Ham do tend to get some sort of attacking direct, so yeah.
But I think there's people ahead of him, but he's someone you could probably play as a decent pod. But yeah, that's it for me in this one. Anyone else for you? Or
even Areola, to be honest, he's actually seemed pretty good lately in terms of just general being a good keeper. So I think a little bit of confidence has gone a long way for him, and he's definitely going to get a lot to deal with. Matheus Fernandes was pretty good and has been playing pretty well in his role that he's playing under Nuno. Tillemans is back. Tillemans, it tends to be their distributor, so it means Watkins and co should do a little better. And then just Bowen's like around there every week, because if West Ham do something, it's probably going to be him.
Yeah, no, that's fair. All right, 2 games left. We got Brentford and Leeds. I think Thiago was another one of those players that I kind of had on my confident pod list this week. Did he come out all right for you in your spreadsheet?
He did. Dengo came out all right too. So the thing is that I like about either of those two is Sade is suspended, so less chance of rotation. Like Thiago got rotated a few weeks ago, so I don't think he's any chance of it. It was like a minor knock, I think. Dengo was the more likely that could get rotated, but I feel like it's pretty difficult for that to happen now with Sade not playing.
Yeah. No, that's fair. And then Leeds, there's no one that really caught my eye this week.
Longstaff is still injured too. He tends to be the one that can do something. Stack's sort of playing the same role, so Stack could do something. And if Leeds do get something out of this game, it's probably going to be off him doing something. He tends to be on set pieces too, I believe, with no Longstaff.
Yeah.
Maybe like the Leeds keeper might see a bit of action, but I'd prefer Kelleher, who's probably going to get a couple of shots against him from Calvert-Lewin, and they might. I'm strong on Brentford keeping the clean sheet in this.
Yeah,
Brentford are really good at home.
Yeah, and Kelleher is actually starting to look pretty decent as well, I think.
Yeah.
So,
he's a good shot stopper.
Yeah.
So Brentford have won 5, drawn 1, lost 1 at home this season. They're one of the best home teams.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Very targetable fixture.
Yeah. So I think that definitely cements my Thiago kind of decision. And then maybe even a Keller pod kind of pick might be I don't know if that's too far. We'll see.
I back him. Coyote I back as well. He tends to do a lot regardless of clean sheet. So clean sheet just makes him into like one of the better scores. Like you could sort of probably get away with Thiago and Dengo if you're super keen, given there's a couple of lack of forward options this week. I think T, was it you? I think you played both a couple of weeks ago when they both went off. So might be a half decent call.
Yeah, nice. But yeah, that's probably, apart from those, not the most interesting fixture for like variation, I guess you'd say. And then the last game of the round, again on Tuesday morning, which is kind of frustrating how long we have to wait for results, but United versus Bournemouth. How nice was that United kind of capture the round last week if you had them? Because there was some big scores in there.
It sort of saved my score in Classic, my lower team scores, Classic and Contender, because I had all like those two and Diallo, and they smash it. I'm annoyed I didn't have Cunha as well.
Yeah. So kind of looks like not a bad fixture to kind of target again for like the similar players you probably picked last week.
Yeah.
Bruno, I think is kind of getting into the goal scoring form now and like getting involved. United are looking like they're going to score goals. I think he's kind of cemented himself as probably even number 1 midfielder GameDay Squad wise for me. Buemo, another one who could potentially go big in this, I think.
Yeah. Like they all come out really well. Cunha, Diallo, Bruno, and Buemo. So could definitely like have back-to-back weeks of going for lots of them. The thing was, Bournemouth are a half-decent team, but they do concede a lot of stats. So you can get away with players not actually scoring an assist and still having big games.
Mhm.
Like Diallo last week, Diallo didn't score or assist, but he had like a 17-pointer in the end.
Yeah, no, that was very reassuring for like, your decision making to pick him. Like it's because with forwards we can rely on goals a lot more than other players, obviously, but you still need to have the players that if they don't score, you're not going to just get a zero. Yeah. Anyone on that Bournemouth side? Obviously, Semenyo's been in good touch, but not necessarily translating to good scores. But do you think this fixture's okay for
him? Yeah, I do. I think like it'll be like 2 that sort of score. So I think there'll be goals. Which means it's. I think he'll probably end up with a goal in this game. I'm pretty confident of that, or like at least an assist. So I've got him in pretty much all my teams now. Means the defenders are a bit less pickable, albeit like Dorgu comes out really well in this without needing a clean sheet or anything. Just is Dorgu going to play with the form Dallo's in? Probably not, because Mazarawi, Ahmad, and Mbeumo all are gone AFCON after this round. So they're probably going to make most use of those three. And then after that, Dorgu comes back into the conversation.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I don't think there's any point picking a Senesi or like someone down back. Petrovic, though, United
clean.
Like United are getting a lot cleaner, but they do give a lot of points to keepers. So it's one that I'm kind of looking at as maybe a opportunity even without a clean sheet. But yeah, I don't know.
There was 2 chances last week that United actually put away that they tried their best not to score.
It's baby steps. They're getting better.
Yeah. So Petrovic, it's so funny because I was real high on him like three rounds ago. Best keeper, I said he's going to dominate. Pulled out a negative, and then the last 2 weeks he's just awesome.
Yeah. No, I don't think I'll pick him because I think there's a few ahead of him, but someone who's definitely there and in and about the top. But yeah, that's it for me. And that's it for the round. So talked about basically everyone. One thing we forgot to talk about, though, which I don't know if everyone's aware of this, but Mel's Misfits. Going to give them a shout out because
dominated.
Yeah, they absolutely carved it up in the starter comp this week and won. So big shout out to Mel's. As always, helping out the show and a well-deserved win. So congratulations. But yeah, hopefully she can back it up. And then I've told her if she backs it up, she's coming on the show next week.
Yeah.
So see
she's
how she
doing well
goes.
On starter too. I think she's up to 19th seasonal.
Yeah, wow. Good shout. Doing better than me. All right. So now we go into the squad reveals. While I compile the wheel to get our giveaways, talk us through your squad, taking note of which competition it's in. Which is very
so I'm playing champ for the first time. So I'm sitting at 8th or 9th in contender, I think, and I'm like only like 50 points off the lead, but I feel like I can get a lot more out of champ than I can for contender for the rest of the season. So I've gone down that route. Classic, one of my more focused comps because I'm fine for a prize card there. So yeah, I've made the jump up. I've slowly been building diamonds in the background, especially young players, because I was aiming to bring things in next year. But with the comp changes, it sort of brought that forward. So I don't have a Haaland diamond. I don't have a Saka diamond. So it means and because I'm not competing for season, it means I can go a bit more wacky with the teams. Albeit what you see on screen is pretty standard. So instead of Haaland, who I had in as an all-star early in the week, I've gone for Dango because I like the fixture. Semenyo, I think he'll score. Diallo, I think he'll have one of those games where he can just stack points, and it wouldn't surprise me if he gets on the scoreboard now after not getting there last game. In the midfield, I've gone for Kudus, Rice, and Palmer. Again, Palmer's one of those risky ones that I can afford to do. If he doesn't start, I've got someone like a Verts or a Sosboy that can come into there. Same with Rice. If he's looking like he's too ill, I can swap that out. Timber, Cucurella, and Cape all going to be pretty standard this week, I'd imagine. I think Cucurella doesn't get rotated. Could technically for Haddo, but so yeah, all pretty standard with those three. Ballard's the one that I spoke about earlier, where I think he's just going to dominate, and I feel strongly they could like only concede one or maybe get a clean against Newcastle. Then Vicario, I think he's going to be a good keeper this week. If I had Diamond Royce, I'd probably play a Diamond Royce. But for now, him and Dubravka, who I spoke about earlier, I think Dubravka could get a big game. Taking a few risks there with it. Odegaard, hopefully he does start after playing most of the UCL game. Coyote should be big this week. Saka I've only played as a plat because I don't have the diamond, and I feel like he's essential this week. So I'll just miss out on a bit of the multiplier that others get. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it.
No, considering you've only just started building you've probably been working on it a bit, but you have, it hasn't been your focus to build this side, and you've just come out with this. You must have been hustling so hard in the trade Discord, getting all this done.
Especially like this week, I've been in the DMs of a few people I know have spare diamonds.
Yeah, no, very nice. We'll jump into my side. I've just got my classic side up again, which I don't know if, it's changed a lot. It's going to change again. So Ray is coming out. He was literally there as a placeholder, and I've managed to pick up a silver Vicario, so slotted straight in. Up front, I've gone Saka Platinum, which I think is a master heist, unless you have an all-star. Thiago, Semenyo, and then I've got Haaland in there at the moment, who I'm not super sold on, but mainly because, it's a good problem to have, but he's my only all-star option. And then salary cap-wise, I'm kind of weighing up whether it's beneficial to have him in there for the salary cap benefits and steal the potential versus maybe going somewhere a little bit different. So
we'll see how we go. The other Haaland all-star.
Yeah, it's funny how I've only got 2 all-star cards and they're both Haalands. It's kind of, it's a great problem to have, but it must annoy a lot of people. Cal.
Yes, Cal.
So in the midfield, I've got Bruno, Kudus, Buemo, and Anderson.
Yeah,
and then down back, a little bit different to you. I've gone Timber because it's probably the most confident I have picking out of that Arsenal backline.
For sure.
Maybe a White might come in at some point, but we'll see. Cash, who I really like this week, Porro, Malaire, and then Tete. So a little bit different again. And then I've got Royce and Raya. Vicario now. So don't hate it. Don't love it, but it feels different enough to a set and forget kind of squad that I like it.
I rate it. I think there'll be little differences in forwards and midfield this week, but defense is what's going to win you it, because I think there's going to be a lot of different opinions on who's going to keep clean sheets this week.
Yeah. No, that's fair. All right. But that's our sides. So what we'll do now, we'll spin the wheel. We've got 2 packs to open. We'll do the same as always, where we both get a row. Whoever wins on the wheel gets the 3rd row of the pack. And we'll smash these out quickly because I am getting hungry. Right. So share the wheel. Actually, sorry, I'm just going to add one more on who managed to sneak in. Oh, no, sorry. They're already in there. All right. So we'll go 2 spins here, and then we'll break them back. TC. Congratulations. And then the second one we have Or is it Mel's?
Ooh, gonna be close.
Not quite.
Lucky.
Mel's has got enough packs this week with their prize winning. So Peter Quicksilver getting the second pack. Right. Well, the second row from the pack. Let's jump in. We'll go to packs. We'll refresh the page to get them up. So I don't have all-star packs. I'm not sure if I think they're out of codes for them, but it doesn't matter because I feel like we must be out of all-stars at this point. So what row do you want?
I'll go for the middle again. That's what I usually go with. So we're looking for diamonds and reds.
Yeah. At least with these, we get the animation that gives it away what we get. Ooh. So we've got a platinum based on that animation. So we should definitely take that from a common pack. So which row did you say, sorry?
I'll just go middle. I think
Middle.
that's what I usually do.
Yeah, I'll go bottom. So got Mo Salah.
Who wants it?
We have you got the platinum Donovan.
Oh, yeah.
Another platinum Cucurella. Not bad.
This was T was in this pack too?
Sorry?
T was the one that won this row, right?
Yes.
You can have that if you want T.
Nice. I'll go bottom. So I've got O'Neill, Shaw, and Henderson. So
Henderson not bad this
solid defensive options there. And then up top we have Rig, got Doss, and we got Sukic. So not the best top row, but if you're happy to give away that Cucurella, that's probably not a bad result there. And then the second pack, who was it again? Peter Quicksilver, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes, certainly was.
So no platinums here, just silvers and golds, but that's fine. Same row again?
Yeah, I'll go for the same.
All right, so you got the Simmers, got a Scarlet, and you got a Boskagli. I have a Gordon, I have a Garuda, and I have a Dowman. All silver so far.
Dowman not bad. Good young player.
Yeah, nice. And up top we got a Duck, we have a Gomez, and we have a Garner.
Garner's nice. He's a good scorer.
Nice. So that's it. So we'll leave it there. Any final pieces of advice you got for players this round? Probably should
Not really.
Else, shouldn't we?
Yeah, exactly. Just like I'd advise you to strongly back your judgment with who you think is going to get a clean sheet, because that's what everyone will be doing this week. It'll be all based on opinion, and then people will, pick on who they think will get the clean sheet, because there's so many different games that it could come from.
Yeah, no, I think I definitely agree with that. Don't read into the Discord chat as well too much this week, I think, because there's so many opinions about what the scores will be that if you start reading into other people's opinions, you're going to see it as facts, and then you're going to start questioning yourself, and then you're going to be in a mess. So set your teams tonight before you get too invested, and then just try not to change it too much. So we'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. If you do enjoy it, please do give us a like and subscribe, just to make sure that we do know that this kind of stuff is valuable to everyone. So thanks heaps.
Thanks, everyone.